Why did I change my name? Why did I reject colonial name? Why? The question. Can you reject your colonial name? Do you know the name you're carrying is for colonizer? That is not our identity. Welcome to Talk to Ndizeye. This is the Reclaim African Identity. We talk, we learn, we question about our African culture, our history, and our identity for future generation. Today, the question I'm going to ask you, can you change your name? I did it. Why did I change my name? I'm telling you the story. I live in Australia and I went to the pub to have a beer. I met a guy, his name, he was George Stein. When you go to local pub, everybody wants to know if your first time he came talk to me. He asked me, what is your name? I say, my name's Alois. And they say, what does he mean? I say, I don't know. You don't know what meaning of your name? Yes, I don't know. And I know Alois, it's a French name. Oh, are you French? I say, no. Oh, how come you have a French name? I say, we have been colonized by Belgium. And then because of influence of French language and French culture, always we have to have a name, and a surname is Rwandese. And then I say, yeah. But that question stayed in my mind all the time. After that conversation, the question George asked me stayed in my mind. And he keep asking, why do you have that name? What does Alois mean anyway? And I didn't know. And that is how awakening comes out. That is how something changes you in the mind. I keep thinking about it. I take initiative also to think, no, this is not our name. I look, I start to research, and I realize, yes, I have to take back my name. And to change name is not easy. It's a process. But because always it keep in my mind telling me, that is not your name, you should change it. And I say, but you know how hard it is? I say, don't worry about how hard it is. It's a process and you can do it. And that's how everything comes out. I start communicating with people. I start asking people, but most people, they were thinking, no, name is a name anyway. But for me, the question keep in mind. I do research. I realize African name had the history. African names had the meanings for the names. Every tribe in Africa have the way they were naming their children. And me from Rwanda, and I remember also our history. Now, you know the truth later. You doesn't need to be on spot to know if this history they were telling us was truth or no. In Rwanda, there is a king Yuhi Musinga. He was thrown out by Belgium. They took him in exile and he passed away in Congo. But when we learn the history, they teach us how bad he was. And that is why they take him out from the power. But no, that was propaganda. That was lies. The propaganda of colonial mind is still in on our readers in any things we do back home. And because propaganda is so powerful, it comes to our mind and we believe it. We believe the lies because they give these lies when you are children. And I discovered he refused to be baptized. He refused to take a white name because it was powerful. And he leave the power, he gave to his son, and his son ruled, and his son was baptized. That is where we are coming from, my brother and my sisters. Let's we take back our identity. Let's we change it. Even if you can't go where I went through, from legal, from the paperwork, It's a process. It's a process. In Australia, take not much time. I went to Rwanda, also I presented, and they did it. I'm proud to have changed my name. I'm proud to be named African's name, Ndizeye Rubasha. But guess what? My brother and my sister, you don't want to change in your mind to call me name, to learn how to have African name. This is how generation change. We have to follow what we think in our mind. And we look back, life has to go back to look how they happened. And it happened to our ancestors. They did it. Because we are going to be, now soon, ourselves going to be our ancestors. If we become ancestors, we have to have a purpose to live. This is my purpose of living to my people, my friend. And this is, and my sister, my generation, it's hard to believe it. But I have to keep sharing with you. I change now my sons. My son now, they know they have to take their African name. They know the generation to come, their children, they got to have children with African name. That's where the change start. Change start with one mind, and the generation come to do that. Even you, my brother and my sisters, even you can do it. Do it for your children. Do it for your grandchildren. And this is individual thinking. This is individual goals. This is individual action. That is how we change what is in people's mind. They change something being in their mind for a long, long period of time. Because we think it's truth, but when you look, it's not. And we do it together. Most of the times, I want to tell you, there's identity. Every child have to have identity. Every child have to have name. And when you look around, each community, each tribe, everywhere in the world, they have their own name. They have their way they naming their children. As we've been interfered by the colonial, the missionary, they did it. But we had to change it. The history, it's us. The history, it's ours. Most history we have is what we've been left by colonizers. And always the right to praise themselves. But most of the time, the story they write is not. You got to see the example now. You got to see the evidence you yourself. Lest we claim our name. Lest we take our African names. Lest we be proud for who we are. Lest we be proud for our name. Lest we be proud of our ancestors. And thank you. Come to the next episode. Keep following up. If you understand each other, subscribe, share to my YouTube channel. This is a movement. We have to bring it to our own people. It comes to the mind. I'm sure if you're African, you listen my message, this question is going to be in your mind. Do you know the name you're carrying is a colonial name? Can you change it? That is the question. And your mind is going to tell you what to do. Have a nice day.